So I had to come to y'all because this girl Alexis did an interview over on Little Black Book 91's channel. And she's the first one of the girls from Ready to Love to come out and say anything. And I'm guessing since she showed her ass at the reunion last Friday, she wanted to redeem herself somehow. Listen, like the video, subscribe to my channel. We're going to talk about a little bit, just a little bit, because, child, can I say this? Stop coming on Kojo's channel and acting like you don't know what it is. It's so annoying. It's so annoying because you know exactly what he does over there. So there's no point in getting all bent out of shape when he gets to, doing that thing that he does. And you watched it. What do you want? Milk in your bowl first or cereal? That's what he's going to ask you. So don't get over there and act like you don't know. Who puts the milk in first? Don't we know that? We know that he's going to ask that every single time he asks that. I prefer to put my cereal in first. I mean, then he makes that face like that's weird. And, it's not weird. That's how you do it. And I really feel like he puts his cereal in the bowl first, too. He just does that just to, throw you off a little bit. And it works because, I question whether he puts his milk in first or not. Anyway, where do you want to go? If you can get a plane ticket to anywhere, where would you go? Me personally, I don't like the way the whole airline situation been working, lady. So I'm gonna just stay my ass at home for the time being. Let me put that question on hold because until the planes stop, blowing wings and engines and things off, and the people stop having all meltdowns down to the cabin, I'll just, I'm gonna pause on that one for a minute. But my point is, we know what he does over there. And you got to get your background. We got to talk about your childhood and all of that kind of stuff. It's all a part of the process until you get to the part where he asked you about the show. Generally, that's where things go left. It did with Alonzo, and I'll talk about that after this whole reunion thing is over. And the exact same thing happened over here with Miss April, who'll be trying to act dumb. And I don't know why people don't like me. It's because your personality kind of sucks a little bit as it relates to women. Now, I guess the men are entertained by it for a little while until they're not. Why did she go on the show? She went on the show because she tired of niggas and they don't know how to act and they don't know, be upfront and honest and things. And she's just sick and tired of them. And I don't know if that's the right frame of mind to be in when you're going to try to find love. Maybe you should like pause, then go find some. But sick and tired don't seem like the right energy. It doesn't matter because she's going to, do it anyway. Now, she never watched the show, and I'm about sick of that bullshit too. I don't feel like anybody under the age of 50 years old should go on a reality show and say, I don't know nothing about the show. I've never watched it, especially a show that has been on for 9 seasons. You should have watched it. I feel like if you were going to go get a retail job at a store, you would go in the store and see what it's all about before you fill out the application. Golly. No, you didn't do it. You didn't go on the internet. You didn't go on the freaking YouTube and see every freaking interview and episode and all of that stuff that you could have researched before you got there. I think you probably did that. I don't know. I'm going out on a limb. I don't know what your business is because you, much like your boyfriend Will, is real kind of evasive with certain parts of information. Hell, one thing about Playboy Justin, you can say what you want. He said he's a PE teacher, and he came in there as bees as whose he's is, and made it all the way to the bridge. Just saying, fake ass people doing fake ass shit. She thought this would be the opportunity of a lifetime. Why? What gave you that impression? You never even heard of the show before until your sister-in-law or somebody told you to do it. And now all of a sudden it's the opportunity of a lifetime. You're a corporate person. How is this going to be a great opportunity for you? And this is another thing. What's this girl, Alexis? Alexis is a athlete and a referee. And those types of people prepare. You prepare for the game. And so you can't tell me you didn't come in this game prepared. You just didn't know you were going to be, your opponent was going to be a gamer. Who played the game better than you? He didn't win. He didn't get to the bridge, but he got far. He got your ass off of there. So, you know, I guess the real gamer is Mika. Ha 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 ha. She got a secret weapon. You weren't gonna be able to compete with that. And it is what it is. I should feel bad for saying that, but I don't. Anyway, she got there and there wasn't anybody there that she liked anyway because her type is Boris Kojo. And she got there and got with Will.i.am. Now explain that. Ain't that much switching up in the world, girl.
I like men that have my look, I guess. That's what
No
I
matter.
prefer.
No matter.
Yeah.
I'm with it. All right. Yeah, I like that. No, I'm not mad at it. I respect
Like
that.
Boris Kojo for me is like my Sistine Chapel. So yeah, Boris Kojo does it for me.
You starting off with, shifty and shady. It don't make sense. It would have made more sense if you picked the other William. Not that he looks like Boris Kojo, but I'm just saying he's tall and bald headed, for God's sakes. The guys are cool. They're all cool. Everybody's cool. Nobody my physical type was there, but they're all cool. They got great personalities. And, I liked everyone and everyone liked me, except the girls. Nah, didn't get along with any of the girls. I don't know why, because I don't start nothing, and if you don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. That was like your motto throughout the whole few weeks that you were there. Um, Vanessa's cool, but that's only because Vanessa wasn't fooling with your ass. So there's that. Anyway, she had other shit going on. Funny thing is, like, these people always come in here trying to tell their side of the story, but leaving out parts which doesn't make sense because we're not stupid. Yeah, we only see parts of the thing. We know, we know, we know. Don't tell us that we don't understand the editing because we do. You know what I'm saying? I could tell. We didn't always know, but we know now. We've been around long enough. You know why? We've been here for at least 9 seasons. And then there's, 14, 15 of Real Housewives. This is where I started. I started at the real world. Now the YouTube thing is new, but that's how long ago I started. I remember when Tammy Roman was on there doing what she do and still doing it. Anyway, don't worry about it, girl. You didn't even research the show you came on, but you smart. You said it. You was an exceptional child. I mean, I believe it, but exceptional children don't always know how to maneuver out here in these streets. So that's that. Anyway, she said after the second brunch, she knew right away that there was only going to be friendships with these guys. The second brunch. So that's the one where everybody met everybody, and that's where the shit started, at the second brunch. So after the second brunch, she already knew Boris Kojo ain't there. I might as well entertain Will because, he's a little guy from Miami who's gonna be happy about any attention that he gets from, a girl with pretty privilege like what's her name? Alexis here. When you have pretty privilege, that's hard enough to say. When you have pretty privilege, you have access to things that the regular girls don't usually have. I'm not sure why she kept saying that. I feel like all these girls here were pretty. And it was something that we all kept talking about, like, dang, like all the girls are, it's a pretty group of girls up here, all of them, including her. I'm not taking that away from her. I just felt like, stop saying that. It's getting on my nerves. Anyway, and I feel like that's kind of how she maneuvered her way into being connected to William, the real estate mogul. So at that ladies' lounge, not ladies' lounge, after that brunch, the A team, the first people we met, they went out together. April, Mika, Koshia, and Alexis. And they sat there having cocktails and the kikiing. And for some reason, one of the ladies, probably Koshia or Mika, according to her, because she wasn't really saying much about April. We know April didn't do it. This is the thing about April. April probably pledged in college. She ain't worried about these girls. She's pledged before. She know how this shit goes down. You dropped out of college. You didn't get that far. Oh, child, that's not funny. I mean, it is what it is. She brought it up. She could have just didn't say she went to college. She was like, I went to Texas University or whatever school she went to. Then she was like, didn't finish. You should have just didn't bring it up, girl. I'm just saying. So, like I was saying, at the brunch, one of these ladies were recording her. Allegedly, we don't know that the recording actually exists. Nobody's heard it except for maybe this mystery person.
Because after this dinner, like the next day or something, I get a phone call from one of the guys, and they're like, "Hey, you know, we starting to hear some things about you, that you're a gold digger, and you gonna be running background checks on people, and you checking in on people and all of this and then the third." Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not paying no monthly fee to be able to run a background check on nobody. It's just that I'm not that invested. I'm just really not, right? So I'm like, what are you talking about, right? So then they started to say some of the things that was said at this dinner. So I'm like, this is oddly specific that you're asking me about XYZ. Now, still to this day, I haven't heard this recording. I haven't heard anybody say, this is, send it to me or anything like that. But these are the words, this is the phone call I get. You're a gold digger. We finna tell everybody about it, blah, 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 from some of the male cast. They're just kind of just like, hey, this is what we heard about you, and trying to figure out how true it is. What were your intentions, right?
So after the brunch, the very next day, she gets a call from some mystery man. Now, I think this mystery man is William. Why do I think that? Because back at the vacation getaway house, William was very uncomfortable with the conversation of text messages and group chats. And he said something to the effect that he heard that the girls were over there talking crap about them. And he was like, oh, no, that shit is not okay. Now, he heard it was Koshia. That's what he heard from someone. I don't know who. I'm just saying. I feel like if it was will.i.am that had discovered the recordings, he would have one by one went to each one of them and asked them like what was what. I just think he has a different way of handling things. I don't know. One of them wills or both of those wills are up to no good. And she's not divulging. She has no problem saying who did what over here on the ladies' side. But when it comes to these men, she's not saying who it was. But a mystery man called with an alleged a recording of her. And he said that she had been talking shit about them and that, saying that she's a gold, that she's supposed to be a gold digger. I don't know. That doesn't even make sense. So this person called her. Now I got to say it out loud again. This person called her, told her he heard that she was a gold digger and that she was investigating to see if people actually had the money that they say they had. And that's why she aligned herself with Will. This is what the recording said, allegedly. That's according to this mystery man that she's protecting. And he said, what did he say? We're trying to figure out what your intentions are. And I was like, well, why would he need to figure that out if he's got the recording? The recording should say what the intentions are. She don't have the recording. She didn't ask to hear the recording without any type of proof whatsoever, except for the word of this person that she just met, because we're just at the second brunch. Ciao. So in order to defend herself, she sent text messages, screenshots of text messages from the ladies' group chat, just like LaRon said she was doing. I don't know if that makes him a snake, but he did say that she was doing that, and that's what she was doing. But it was only to defend herself, because what had happened was these ladies were speaking so badly about these guys. She was concerned about how they were going to look on television. And so, and how they were going to produce that whole thing. So in order to protect them, she thought it would be better for all the ladies to stop doing that. I don't know if this happened before or after the recording happened, but this is what was down in the group chat, according to Alexis. And so it was Koshia that texted her and said, "We think you're right, that we should not be so mean about these guys. And so we think we're going to follow your advice." And so that's what she sent to whoever it was that she was, getting this phone call from, that we don't know who it is. It's real hard, girl, when you be leaving parts out. Who was it? I would like to decide for myself whether I believe it. Where's the recording and how come you didn't ask for it? Now, this is where it got funny to me. When they got down to that ladies' lounge, she said the ladies' lounge was the same day. In the morning, they met Justice, and then Justice. In the morning, they met Justin, and in the afternoon, it all went down in the ladies' lounge. That was all the same day. And what I do notice is Princess Leylin exited the building at that. She met Justin, and at that ladies' lounge, she said, "Hey," and then after that, she went to go talk to Tommy, and she got up out of there because she did not see her Boris Kojo over there. So she decided, I'm gonna figure out a graceful way to exit this program because she is over here threatening to slap people in the mouth and you sending screenshots of things, and I don't want any parts of that. So I can see why she exited the building. Not you. You want to fight with Koshia about, choked or snatched and screenshots, and she said you sent screenshots. And I don't know why right then I'm just leave it on the playground. Girl, leave what on the playground? If she would have pulled out some screenshots on me, I would have been like, I wouldn't have sent no screenshots, but y'all was over here recording me. And she gonna say, "What recording?" And you gonna feel like fool. Maybe that's why you didn't say nothing, because you didn't actually hear the recording. Now, who did? Well, we can't say in order to protect his identity, child. And the people said you were out here being male identified, pick me, and then here you are, proving their point. Who are the people? Me. I said it. And I have an opinion about Koshia and Mika. I do. But we ain't talking about them. We talking about you. You started out perfect, Patty, with your perfect family and your perfect life. And I think there's nothing wrong with that because I feel like mine was pretty perfect. And when people have these tragic stories and you're like, dang, it make you realize how lucky you really had it. So I can get why when Kojo starts talking about childhood trauma and you're like, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't have any trauma. I think you should relax a little bit. It's not that serious. But we'll get there when we get there. Now, she brought up this other thing about how he asked her about her saying to Koshia basically that it was her fault, that she brought the bad behavior on herself because she was being very sexual in her conversation on one end, and then on the other end, she was all offended by being choked or snatched. And I'm like, well, how do you know that? Did you hear her being all sexual? This, for God's sakes, y'all just had like the one mixer and the other mixer, y'all wasn't there. Then you had the brunch, and all of this took place. Apparently, Mika and Koshia were down there, I guess, at the brunch, getting numbers from men who weren't part of the process. And I'm like, well, you said it wasn't no Boris Kojo's over here. We saw that. Boris Kojo ain't my type, so I wouldn't be over there looking for Boris Kojo anything. I'm not saying the man's not handsome. A lot of people think that. I'm just saying that ain't really what I'd be checking for necessarily. However, girl, why do you even care? What does that have to do with anything? How does that make sense that Mika and Koshia were over at the brunch getting numbers from men that weren't part of the process? And that makes her what? Deserving of being asked a question that she found offensive, had her over here clutching her pearls. And I think at the end of the day, one of the dudes that she liked didn't say that to her. It was Alonzo. She didn't want it from him. And she, whatever he was trying to give, she tried to shut it down. Please, you was like kept throwing that up. She just wanted to be overreacting about choked or snatch. Maybe she was overreacting. I still don't understand what it has to do with you. And if she was overreacting, I would have been like, yeah, besides all that, why was y'all recording me though? And what were you saying? Stand on your shit, girl. And stop being it's a whole lot of recordings and things over here. I just realized. Whew, out here on these streets. One of them I heard. I ain't heard yours, girl. It don't matter. Um, so Jonathan and the pajama thing. I'm just touching on little things. Ain't nobody gonna sit here all night long breaking down this whole interview. I got what I needed to get just out of these few little parts. So Jonathan at the pajama party, apparently when we seen him pull her down on him, we were all very uncomfortable with that. We could see that she was uncomfortable. She even said she tried to I tried to like hold him off and, keep him away from me. But I decided, he whispered in my ear, just let it go or go with it. Just go with it. I suppose that's probably something that a lot of men say when they're forcing some young girl to do something she says she ain't want to do. Just go with it. That's what it sounds like. Just like he was sitting there, shit ain't funny. Just like he did that to you. He pulled you down on him, and your first thought is, I want to protect this man and his reputation because he has a job out there in a pit. And maybe he's the one that should think about that. And you're going to say, well, he is a Q when he was on that oil. And when a Q gets on that oil, what happens? Please don't bring this girl to speak on your behalf, because goodness, don't bring her ass to court, because she's going to make it worse. I don't care which oil he was on. There's nothing right about that. And I think it's hilarious, not really, not funny at all, to be honest, that you would sit up there and defend his behavior. For why? Because you known him how long? You didn't even know he liked you in the daytime, in the morning, when the shit started. Couldn't have been me, because he would have been flying off that daggone ottoman. Not Anwar, by the way. You got over to the reunion and showed your ass, child. And I mean, apparently it's the alcohol. Apparently, Jonathan ain't the only one to don't know how to act when he get on that oil. And I don't want to hear this again either. Like, y'all keep talking about how you was drinking all day and there wasn't any food. If there's not enough food to suck up the alcohol, then don't do it. You know your limits. Drink some water, shit. Or do they not have water? Like, that's gonna be your excuse. You was over there sauced up and you decided to flip out on LaRon and Mika and Justin. And this is another thing. You sat up there and said, little Justin, I didn't even know he said anything to me until I watched the reunion. So you watched the reunion and then you realized that Justin said something to you. But then 5 minutes later, you were saying how he was standing up over you all in your face. Girl, you flipped the fuck out. And you have a corporate job. So that's unfortunate, because nothing over there that serious. You said yourself that you decided at the second brunch that it wasn't nothing over there for you to do. So for you to get up here all this time later and be mad about what? LeBron being a snake? He didn't finish to the bridge either. At the end of the day, like, you didn't like the girls for whatever reason, and that didn't work out for you. Aligning yourself with niggas when you're a woman is always gonna be a bad idea, because they're not your alliance. They're gonna be down for each other way, way harder than they'll ever be down for you. What's this boy's name? Playboy Justin was over here defending his girl because you was all up in her face. Now, was that the right thing to do in that moment? I don't know, probably not. But at the end of the day, he just said, shut up. Like, I can imagine like having you sitting next to me, yapping, and drunk. at some point I probably would tell you to shut the fuck up too. You got carried off the stage talking about, I'll beat your ass, I'll beat you up, I'll beat you up, I'll beat you. You was finna beat up everybody. And that was just a bad day. And I get it. I have bad days too. I usually don't have to get carried out of the room. And I can have a bad temper. And this is the thing. Like you keep saying it was a bad moment. We all have bad moments. Mine usually start with red ears and get real hot right here. And then like the vein starts busting. And so when I start feeling like that, like if I'm in a workplace, then I'm gonna just excuse myself from the situation. You know what I'm saying? Go to the bathroom, go on a smoke break, remove yourself from the situation, but don't sit there and threaten everybody that to the point that you got to get dragged off the stage. Now you over here apologizing to your mama and your daddy because you was acting a fool. I don't think it's the first time you was acting a fool. Coach Shea was over here threatening to slap you in the mouth more than once. Now I'm not saying she's right, but you was definitely on the receiving end of a lot of unusually heightened energy. I'll put it that way. The last thing I wanted to talk about before I, go to bed. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Why are you mad at Kojo? Like that was so lame. I'm so sorry, but for you to get all the way through the interview, and I bring it up because this boy Alonzo did the same thing. He was all pleasant in the beginning, and then he was doing fine, and then at some point the shit would left, and he would just not let it go. I don't feel like Kojo was saying anything that should have been that upsetting. You asked if he was a therapist. Do your research, girl. And then you felt stupid when he said no. That's why you shouldn't be so worked up about it. At the end of the day, you showed your ass on a TV show, and all he said, I think all he was trying to get to was like, what, why do you think you do that? Why do you think you pop off like that? LeBron does it. He pops off. It's equally as bad, and he always tries to blame the alcohol. I would be curious to know because I have been known to pop off. Not in public, girl, not like you did. My pop offs to be at the crib around people who know me. I guess the point is like I never have somebody that I don't care about get me that worked up. But it comes from somewhere. That's my point. It comes from somewhere. Like I had a great mom. She didn't pop off. So that ain't where it came from. I'm not sure what pop off is. Maybe Kojo can analyze my childhood one day. If I'm so lucky. Anyway, girl, at the end of it all, I feel like, yeah, what I thought was you're pick me. I feel like you and William may have a lot more in common than we realize. On that note, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and child, tomorrow's the last part. So we're gonna see. So we're gonna see what they do. Bye.